Hey, have you ever noticed using tools in Animal Crossing New Horizons is unavoidable and absolutely essential? Regardless of your level of play, whether absolute beginner, casual player or die-hard, the more time you spend fumbling with tools, the less time you have to play the game. I'm going to show you how to optimize your tool ring setup and how much better it is than using just your pockets. I'll also talk about how to best organize your pockets. After all, efficiency is what I'm all about. Let's get started and make you the sharpest tool in the shed. Hey YouTube, it's Alexi Giovani and welcome back for another tutorial in Animal Crossing New Horizons. Since you started the game, you were introduced to the concept of pockets, where all your tools and collectibles would live. You might have gotten used to using your tools from your pockets, switching tools and putting them away from your pockets. Eventually you would have had the option to upgrade to the tool ring, which you can now get from the ABD at Resident Services for 800 Nook Mile points. It's well worth it for less than the cost of a cap and ride. Despite having a tool ring, you might not have mastered it or know how to best use it, so that's where I come in. Now here's my setup, which I hope makes sense. I keep the bottom three tools as destructive and or ground-based tools with a shovel right at the bottom. The top three are air or terrain tools, slingshot for aerial assault for those overhead balloons, and the other two positions I use for quick access when it comes to cliffs and across water. Then finally to the left and right are my catching critter tools, the net and fishing pole. Ground tools will depend on a given day. Sometimes I want a sharp axe for a Captain or Dodo tour, and sometimes I want a blunt axe for farming wood on my own island. That same slot I usually use for watering as well, so if I'm ever doing one or the other I can interchangeably switch them out. Next, let's just cover over the directional buttons, or D buttons for short. These are found on the left Joy-Con as shown on screen. There are 4 buttons you need to master, not just for the tool ring, but for handling tools in general. The tool ring is shown with hitting the up D button. You can also use it to hide it again or by choosing a tool. To put a tool away that's in your hand, just hit the down D button on the left Joy-Con. To get the last used tool back again, hit either the left or right arrows on the left Joy-Con of the D-pad. I've seen many people put away tools via their pockets, which is way slower, as you can see. That's almost 5 seconds slower, on top of looking less cool. That brings us onto our left and right D buttons. Those can be used to progress left and right through the tools in your pockets. I've found when it comes to tasks in the game, they seem to come in sets of 2 to 3 tools, like using axe for wood, quickly switching a net to catch sudden wasps, shovel on hand for stuff out of the rocks or digging up and burying money nest eggs for your daily chores. It could be villager hunting, which needs a vaulting pole and ladder to navigate to your favourite dreamy, or a net on hand in case you find wasps or these tarantulas. Gardening heavily relies on a shovel to dig up or dig holes to plant crop or flowers, and then watering can to give you that quality H2O. And commonly when you're catching for your Critterpedia with fish and bugs. Now that I've shown you how to use both your tool ring and switch tools from your pockets, I can show you my go-to pocket order. For daily chores, I have my axe and net right next to each other for being ready for wasps, and shovel for farming iron, clay and stone. As mentioned earlier in the video, ladder and pole are close by for terrain navigation, and there's nothing stopping you from having multiple items like shovels to keep them close to a watering can for the same exact reason. Oh, and before I forget, if you haven't already noticed this, the little star at the top right of the tool is a hint that it's a favoured tool in your tool ring. Remember, you can pick a tool from your tool ring and then use the D left and right to move amongst your pocket. For reference, I'm picking a fishing rod first, which note the next 2 tools to the right are the watering can and the slingshot. So every time you hit the D button right, it'll move forward through your pockets. And again with the slingshot. Note the subtle tick next to the tool. Then if I pick, let's go with the shovel, and then move backwards through my pocket to the net and then the axe. And finally the down D button to put away my tool. Done! Level up in tool management. Hit the like if you've learned something or at least entertained. Please leave me a comment as I'd love to hear from you. This is Alexi Giovani, and until next time, see ya! Hey Gulliver, what you doing? Hello? Gulliver! 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 Oh! Gulliver! Oh, if you're still here, check out the linked videos on screen.